And here's me again on this microphone. All right. So on behalf of the International Elephant Foundation, thank you everyone for being here and participating in the conference. That has been very important to us. So we're just going to go through very quickly kind of our conservation philosophy and a little bit about why we do this. So we all know there are many approaches to conservation, from non-interactive field observations to active interventions to hands-on species management. Oftentimes in conservation, sides get very polarized. I think the last panel kind of discussed that a little, only viewing their own approach and their own camp as the one true way. And with IEF, our origins are rooted in the search for cooperation. We exist because a number of elephant experts, trainers, managers, researchers, and conservationists from zoos, circuses, and in the field all were frustrated that funds weren't getting to where they needed to go. Working hand in hand with all of those worlds, both in ex situ and in situ, together they became the impetus for the formation of IEF. So elephants in human care provide a valuable link to wild populations. They inspire people to care, they take action to support conservation efforts in the field. And most, if not all, researchers in this room have benefited from fundraising either directly or inspired by captive elephant populations. And actually the science bears this out. A 2018 study by Dr. Lance Miller found that, quote, observing elephants engaged in a variety of species-typical behaviors and having an up-close experience was significantly correlated to visitors having a positive emotional response. That positive emotional response had a significant positive relationship with reported interest in getting involved in conservation, end quote. Essentially, that translates into conservation dollars and, most importantly, conservation action. The positive effect of seeing elephants and wildlife in general in person, combined with education, can also be seen in range countries. When students in 9 villages in Uganda were given a conservation education curriculum and taken into nearby Kibale National Park, they were inspired to hold their first ever Elephant Pride Day. Many of these students and their families have only experienced adversarial relationships with wildlife, and therefore a critical component of this project was taking them to see elephants and other wildlife in an environment that is outside of that dynamic. And it's worthy to note that this project was actually funded with conservation dollars raised by Elephants in Human Care. Elephants in Human Care also provide a very valuable resource. They provide reliable, timely, and regular access to endangered and threatened species so that we can find solutions to global issues. Without the samples provided by captive elephants, it is likely we may never find a cure for EEHV. But well-trained animals in human care can and have provided important information, stress-free, to help their wild cousins, including measuring water absorption and evaporation to determine thermoregulation and water needs of elephants in range countries, testing new human-elephant conflict deterrence, and helping to develop methods on how to extract hormones, EEHV, DNA, etc., from feces from captive elephants in order for those techniques to be adapted into wild. This point was also made clear in so many of the talks at this very symposium. Elephants brought all of us in this room together. We share a fellowship and a bond that few outside our small world can understand. And that is why it is so important that we work together and not subdivide ourselves even further. Research and conservation work happens wherever elephants are. And we should not close any doors that can lead to a world where elephants thrive. Despite being separated by distance, in situ and ex situ elephant populations cannot be divorced from one another, and it is our responsibility to utilize all means necessary to help and learn and support elephant survival. and therefore to support both populations. Be it an elephant-backed habitat patrols in Sumatra, conservation messaging at a zoo, captive breeding programs, or emergency medical care to elephants in the wild, they all cooperate for the love of elephants, and we should too. Thank you all for attending this symposium. We realize it was a huge commitment of time and finances, but we hope that you found it beneficial, made great connections, and it helps you in your future elephant endeavors. We hope to see you at the next one, which will be in 2021. Follow us on social media to find out where. But on behalf of the International Elephant Foundation and Adventures with Elephants, thank you and safe travels.
Yeah, from us at Adventures with Elephants, I think Sarah said it all. But yeah, thank you all very, very much for coming out. Thank you for loving elephants, and thank you for everything that you guys do. And you know where we are, so if you ever want to come back and visit, you're welcome. If you have any questions, please shout, and we'd love to hear from you guys. So again, just a big thank you to you all. And IEF for actually giving in under my pressure and actually coming here for once. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much, and safe travels, and hope to see you next time. It's been a pleasure. It's been the pleasure of IEF to offer this opportunity to you all.